Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Dito sa aming American Dream segment, gusto namin kayong tulungan at bigyan kayo ng impormasyon kung kinakailangan nyo ng legal immigration advice galing sa aming mga kaibigan mula sa Aquino at Loew.
This American Dream segment is brought to you by Aquino-Silva Law Firm, answering your immigration questions.
Kasama po natin dito sa Kababayan Today si Atty. Allison Aquino-Silva ngayong araw para talakayin natin ang mga issue tungkol sa domestic violence. Hi!
Good afternoon, Giselle.
Hello, Attorney. How are you doing?
Very good, and yourself?
Very good. Thank you so much for being here today.
Always my pleasure.
Okay, as we know, there's a lot of news going on, especially with the social media perpetuating all this issues about domestic violence, because as we know, a lot of people are talking about this, so it's very timely that we're talking about domestic violence. And I know Attorney Richard was here to talk about this before, but can you share with us more information about visas that are available for people that are victims of domestic violence?
Exactly. And as you point out, this issue right now is very much in the news because of the football players who have been alleged to have committed domestic violence. And included in that, you know, on one instance, it pertains to spousal abuse. On another instance, it pertains to child abuse. And so that is essentially what, that there are visas available for individuals who are victims of domestic violence. And a lot of people don't understand, or they don't recognize that there are visas, both green cards as well as temporary visas known as a U visa, that are available for victims of spousal abuse. But also what people don't fully recognize is that there are visas if you're a parent who has been abused by one of your children, or if you're a child who has been subjected to child abuse as well.
So how do these people recognize those signs? Because as we know, alam natin binubugbog ka ng asawa mo. That's very common, although we don't talk about it as much as we should, no? But pagdating sa magulang, your parents, how can a parent recognize when their children are taking advantage of them and committing this?
Exactly. And that's the difficulty, because also culturally, it's hard to define, especially, for example, if a parent is alleged to have committed child abuse. The discussion right now is it child abuse or is it discipline? And so, especially in the Philippine culture, you know, it might not necessarily be the same as here in the U.S. And individuals may not recognize that disciplining a child may actually be more than just discipline. It may actually be child abuse, or vice versa, like you were pointing out. Unfortunately, there are children who do not treat their parents with the respect that they deserve and that they should be showing to their parents. And so, you know, unfortunately, you do have children nowadays who are unfortunately maybe perhaps in gangs, maybe are not such good children. And so what parents don't fully understand is that that is unacceptable behavior by your child.
Right. And
you do have rights that are available to you. And unfortunately, it's first recognizing that.
Yes.
It's first realizing that disciplining of a child is more than just disciplining. And unfortunately, especially when you're dealing with child abuse, as a parent, you also don't want to perhaps say, my spouse is crossing that line. They are subjecting our child to child abuse. And so visas are available for individuals who are the spouse of, who are battered by their spouse. But also visas are available if you are a parent whose child has been subjected to child abuse.
Right.
And so that is part of what, as a parent, you need to recognize, is if your child is being abused, you yourself can actually benefit from that and get a visa from that. And if you're a child who's being abused, you do need to go ahead and move forward sooner than later, because for visas, you do need to apply before you turn 21.
I see.
Okay.
So the first step, I think, Attorney Allison, is really to talk about it, because we as a culture, this is something that we don't talk about. It's pretty much taboo to talk about, you know, how we discipline children, because I know from my generation, it's very different. I could see the chinelas flying across the room. Now, it's a very different time. So, hindi na pwede yung ganon, di ba?
Exactly.
So, thank you so much for sharing that information with us. Napaka-importante po kung meron kayong kilala na may karanasan na ganito, na makahanap sila ng makakausap para tutulong sa kanila. If you or anyone you know is the victim of domestic violence, please encourage them to seek help to break the cycle of abuse. You can contact Attorney Aquino-Silva for advice from Aquino and Loew. At pagbalik natin sa Kababayan Today, kilalanin natin ang isang artista na propesora dito sa Amerika na tumutulong sa mga kabataan para makapag-aral sila ng ating sariling wika. Si Nanita Domingo po kasama natin sa Kababayan Today sa ating pagbabalik. Maraming salamat.